Shaq play on like a 9-foot hoop against like middle schoolers, and they'd be like, "Get in your face."
Well, I don't quite gloat like that when I make shots and we're in the game early, but it is a little like that.
So it reminds me because there's been when I played basketball when I was younger, there was the YMCA in Saukville. They had a couple different pickup leagues, but one of the guys there it wasn't G League at the time, maybe it was D League, but he was a guy that his career peaked in the D League, but he played in a couple years. So he would kind of go along to get along each pickup game, and then whenever it got to like the final 3 points to win it, or if his team was within 3 points of losing, he'd turn it on and it's game over.
Right.
And so that's what obviously it's a little different from curling because there's like you
can't like just go slow.
It's just like golf. But I mean, like in golf, you still necessarily can't always just click it on. In basketball, there's athleticism, there's just shot making, and every time he'd just be like, he wasn't going slow. It was just more of like, all right, let's have some fun, and then like, but I'm not going to lose, so give me the ball, and I'm going to make the next 3 baskets, and we'll call it a game.
Right.
And so like that's what I imagine.
So for me, it's having fun. That's the whole reason I do it. That's 100%. But it is kind of funny because I'll call some like Hail Mary shots that I'm making 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10. And, if I miss a couple, the other team might get a lead. And then I'm like, then it clicks. And you're like, okay, now you got to play smart. Now you got to like call the game really smart. Yeah, you can click it on per se, but like, when it's like golf. Like, I'm always going to try and make the shot.
Right, and that's what...
Sometimes I'll just try a harder shot than I need to.
Yes, and it's more... Yeah, and it's just more of... again, for basketball, it's more of like you're just trying to get a sweat in. Like, there's times like when I play my old man league Thursday and Fridays, most people are out there looking to just get a run in, get some cardio going. But then the game gets tight, then everyone gets a little bit more locked in.
Right.
And then it goes back and forth. But then the next game starts, and everyone's kind of like, all right, running back and forth, putting up some baskets, take the layup. And then it gets a little... Each game, when it gets to that crunch point, like, well, maybe I'll try to block this one.
I will say, so sometimes when I play league games, it feels like I'm the Packers and that my opponent's the Bears because it is their Super Bowl. They have nothing to play for. But if they win, like I had one time, I'm friends with one of the guys, or I was a coworker with one of the guys' wives that I play against in curling every once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, one night, a couple years ago, I lost to this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, wife comes out of her like cubicle all the way to my department when I was in R&D at Spectrum Brands, and she goes, my husband came home and was so excited and wouldn't shut up about the time that he beat Matt Hamilton in curling league. and she's like, he was wired. He couldn't go to bed until like midnight because his adrenaline was like just running on high. He was like texting his buddies. He was telling me about every shot he made to put pressure on you. He was very excited. So I don't know if he beat you legitimately or you let him win, but either way, thank you. He is in a way better mood because of it.
Jeremiah Madison in a good mood. He says he wears Packers shorts every day, and he did the same thing today.
Okay. Well, good. You didn't boycott him yesterday the way I did?
Or yesterday, same thing. Wore the same shorts every day.
You should wash those.
Yeah.
Those should get cracked
you know what, though?
laundry.
Good on Jeremiah, because I wish I could wear shorts every day.
Are we sure that it's the same pair of Packers shorts, or does he just have like a whole drawer full of Packers shorts? Jeremiah, please text in.
That's not a pleasant, again, we've had this conversation. It's not the best colorway to wear every day.
Just a dark green pair of shorts, be fine.
Well, I mean,
I think green and yellow. But
black is fine. Look at this hat.
Be...
You could do black with a
True,
G on
I
it.
guess you could do that.
Get away with it.
Yeah.
All white? All white shorts is bold.
Yeah, maybe it was
I
the
don't have a
winter
lot of
warning
all-white
shorts.
No.
Even as a 44-year-old man, I don't rock a lot of all-white clothing. I just can't.
My all-white swimsuit's a big hit at the pool.
Is that required for you to wear there?
Speedo.
Like, we don't trust Matt. Make him wear a white swimsuit just to be sure.
Yeah.
Get into the show, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more Carbless. 844-770-3776. I think, am I mad right now? I think I'm upset. Someone take my piece of paper that had the Carbless. I'm blaming Tauscher if it's gone.
Yeah, it's definitely gone.
What in the world? Man.
That's right. I think you've said it enough times now, Jim, this week, and it's it's going to be in your brain now.
Well, you know what they say, Jim. Less is more. You shouldn't need the piece of paper.
I like the piece of paper. God. No, but it's the principle of the thing. Who took it? I'm mad. Whoever took it out of the Everlight Solar studio, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Whoever it was, text
Beware
into the Carlos line
wrath
text line.
of Jim Rutledge.
Bring it back. That's all I ask. If you're going to move something, I sound like my wife right now. If you're going to move something and put it back,
The
where you
funny
got it
part,
from.
Ryan, is there's like 15 words on that piece of paper, and Jim has said them all already.
True, but it's the principle of the thing.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to have to
Get
lock
off
these.
my lawn,
I'm going to have to
you
lock
kids.
away my live read book. Put my Steinhoffels one in there. Don't touch my stuff.
You sound like such a curmudgeon.
Yes.
Where's my paper? Or like that dude from Office, my stapler. Somebody took my stapler and I can't find my stapler. It was on my desk.
Stapler. Our Saturday Unlimited question yesterday
Rutledge that.
said, we asked the question, what's the biggest regular season issue for the Packers heading into the playoffs? 48% of you said slow starts. 14.5% of you said defense late in games. 21% of you said coaching. 16% of you said Jordan Love. And there was a couple good poll questions about Jordan Love up across ESPN Wisconsin, but I want to ask ours a little bit different. I think we asked about the Packers too. And I want your thoughts on Jordan Love. And the question I want to get to, and if you're a fan of the station, there was we got in trouble. I believe University of Wisconsin called us because they thought we were being too mean to Sam Decker. I wasn't on the air. It was Greg Scalzo and someone else, but it was my idea for the question. The question was Sam Decker overrated or underachieving? This was like his freshman or sophomore year before they really got going. And they thought that was unfair. Now, but I mean, if you go to the Sam Decker thing, the expectations for what fans thought Sam Decker was going to be at Wisconsin, I don't know if they ever met as an individual player for Sam Decker.
Well, I mean, he was.
So I would say he was, and this is
He's one of the better players to come out in the last decade.
but he was supposed to be like he wasn't the best player on the team. Frank Kaminsky was.
Well, right, but
So again,
yeah,
the phrasing unfair, overrated or underachieving, because he was overrated, but he didn't overrate himself.
Right.
He did not underachieve. He was a really good basketball player.
Right.
And so it's not underachiever. We just had too high of expectations.
right.
So
and fans tend to do that.
you grow over time, and I want to position this less inflammatory.
Is Jordan Love overrated or an underachiever?
Or do we just go with that one, Ryan? Do we just go with the inflammatory?
I think we can be measured this week. It's
You
a very
sure?
measured week for reactions. Of course.
Yeah,
All Packers
because
fans
here's
are
the
being
thing, Jim, when
very,
we're-
very reasonable this week.
And when we are inflammatory, especially with a Bear fan, everyone just blames you for being a hater. So,
Okay.
let's go with this.
So you can tell
Soft
Rutledge
one.
that.
All right. So we were I want to ask this question, our Saturday Unlimited poll question for today. Were the expectations too high for Jordan Love, or did he underachieve this season? So instead of saying overrated,
Right. The expectations too high, or did he underachieve? Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
it's a little clunkier, but if we want to be fair about it, we can ask like that. That's, I think, how we ended up on overrated or
I mean, we should
underperforming.
have a third category that, he met expectations.
Nobody thinks he met expectations.
There
this
might
year.
be some people out there who didn't buy into the Packers Kool-Aid that he
Yeah,
was
but it's
going to
more of
be
like-
MVP
It's
candidate.
a collective we of
Okay.
like we, and me not as Pack fan, but like the we as a
Right,
group.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
if you as an individual said I didn't have these expectations, did Packer fans? And I think the answer is they had outsourced expectations for Jordan Love because the G, the position, and the history.
Yeah.
You just assume good to great to elite.
Yeah.
And it is possible. Jordan Love, unquestionably, is good. Mm-hmm. And he was good this year. I wouldn't call him great, and he's not elite. And so I think everyone expected the next two steps. And I think it's fine, honestly, even at his paycheck, if he stays good. You won 12 games or 11 games this year.
That is true.
Is Jared, let me ask, is Brock Purdy, where is he? Good, great, or elite?
I'd probably put him just a sliver below great.
Okay, so he's in that good window, though, yes.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know. He might be great.
Jalen Hurts?
That's an interesting one because we've seen great borderline elite. And he's been, and at the end of last year, he was fine. I don't know. He's probably a little bit better than good, but probably not great.
And I mean, Jared Goff is playing pretty close to great this year, but for his career, he's in that good category.
Elite.
He's in that
year.
good. Well, he's in that good category for most of his career, especially
Right.
when he went with the Rams to the Super Bowl. My point is, good can still get you to the Super Bowl, and then anything it's anybody's bet. So I'm not, and I'm just setting all that up, Matt, saying that I'm not here ripping Jordan Love because there's a lot of really bad quarterbacks, and then there's developing quarterbacks, and then there's good quarterbacks, great and elite.
Yeah.
The elite's got the smallest. It might just be Mahomes. I don't even know if we put Allen there because for me, like
Jackson has to be in there.
yes, but Jackson's only holdup for me is that like when I set the elite standard, it's at a minimum played in a Super Bowl and MVP. And Lamar doesn't have the Super Bowl appearance, but he does have the MVPs. I would imagine there's some sort in this category, multiple MVPs probably trumps out a
the
Super
whole
Bowl
like
there.
Super Bowl appearance though. Like at some point, the rest of your team needs to pick up some of that slack, right? Like he can only do so much. He only plays on one side of the ball, and he does like Joe Burrow for an example, elite, 8-8 or 9-8, right? Like. He can't control that the defense gives up 34 points, even though he's putting up 33 every game.
Yep, I agree.
Right? So, like, I hear that, and that's why, I kind of take it with the Super Bowl thing. I think is tough because when you're judging one person on their on whether they're elite or just great, and their team hasn't made a Super Bowl, and you're like, well, you can't be elite. It's like, well. You can have elite talent and be an elite player all season and still not make a Super Bowl.
844-770-3776. That's the Carb List Talk and Text line. List is more. Our signing limited poll question. Did we have outsized expectations for Jordan Love, or is he underachieving? DJ from the road chimes in. It's a little bit of both. After what Jordan did at the end of last season, expectations were much higher this year. This season, Jordan underperformed for someone who's been in the system for as long as he's been in the system. St. Louis chimes in. Guys, Brock Purdy is nowhere near great. He's hardly even good. Y'all watched the same season I did. He still has a lot of pelts on the wall. This season, he's still not good.
This was probably his worst season, but he had 2 in a row where he was slinging it.
Yes, and he's still
or maybe just one. Maybe it was last year.
No, I mean.
Was that his rookie? Last year? Or was
as
that
a rookie, he went to the NFC Championship game and then blew out his elbow.
Oh, right.
And then,
I believe that was his rookie season. I believe this was his third season.
Yes,
right.
it is.
So his
So I have
first
it in
2
front of me.
years, he was really good.
And this year he was missing a lot of his key players for pretty
I
much
still
the
wouldn't
entire
call 66% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and QB rating of 96. I would call that good.
I think he's better than those numbers would indicate.
What was that? This year or career?
That was this year.
Yeah.
The year before, almost 70% completion percentage for 4,300 yards and 31 touchdowns.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why it's. I believe people can have a down year and still be really super talented.
He still fall again. It's kind of that
right.
you said that
It's gotta be on a bell
Jalen Hurts
curve.
be at the higher end of the good and Jordan Love they're
You're
all
right.
in the same good category. These quarterbacks clumped together that still a large majority of teams would be very happy to have them.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Stoughton chimes in. Jim, I lost my composure yesterday. I should not have called you a booger eater. It was shameful. Please accept my apology. You Bears loving fart sniffer. So
you can tell Rutledge that.
JB from the V chimes in. Expectations are too high. We expect great quarterback play. The fact is Jordan Love just isn't that good. He's a middle-of-the-road quarterback. It's just time to accept it. I don't think I'd go middle of the road.
Yeah, I think he's better than average.
Now, 13 is still better than average. And could he be in that 13? Will he live in that 13 to 7 range as far as quarterbacks in the league?
Most likely. It'd be tough for him to crack into the top 5, I think.
Well, because a lot of that has to do with consistency. Even if he puts together a nice 2-game run.
Fortunately, he was pretty consistent this year. That was that for me was his half step forward. Is that he got rid of a lot of the big clunker games.
You know what is consistently great, Matt Hamilton? That's Metcalf's market.
Absolutely. The produce is consistently great, which is what I'm looking for when I go to buy produce. And I can't go wrong with that Piedmontese Italian heritage breed certified beef from Metcalf's, only found at Metcalf's here in Wisconsin, whether that's Wauwatosa, Hilldale Mall, or out by the Westtown Mall. Metcalf's has great food for you. Nourish your body with the best that Madison and Wauwatosa has to offer. Check out Metcalf's Market. Become a Metcalf's member. Start saving some money and bring local home with Metcalf's Market.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light. What Matt missed. Coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Madison Weight Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. If you're looking to find success achieving a new weight loss goal in 2025, do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. A new you in this new year.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Man, I got this right. To my bag, you know I'm popping tag, but man I got this swag, man I got this swag.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio, presented by Coors Light. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Primetime Waller Shine behind the glass. And you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. You can chime in on our Siding Unlimited poll question. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Were the expectations too high for Jordan Love, or did he underachieve this season? Still really like overrated or underperforming, but it's fine. Right now, 67% of you say he underachieved.
I just voted on it. I got 61-38.
Well, you must have skewed the vote.
I did.
All right, let's play What Matt Missed, cheater.
Context is important.
Oh, man.
Except when you're an Olympic gold medalist.
Honestly, I have no idea who it is. Here we go, yo. Obviously, he's talking about, maybe.
It's time for What Matt Missed on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Leinenkugel's. Flavor the moment.
Yeah, and there's no question that Matt Hamilton would never cheat on What Matt Missed. Because he goes out of his way to miss everything. Right, Matt?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing I might get today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, coming in bold today. Well, let's get started right off the rip. There was somebody after a certain performance on Sunday that wasn't too happy with his team and where their head was at. Let's see if Matt Hamilton knows who this is and what team that he was talking about.
What would you like to see corrected from this one before next week? Everything. Yeah. I mean, this is what it is. Same stuff every week. So, I mean, I think it's, the guys individually, everybody got to look at themselves and say, okay, what do we want to do? How far do we want to take this? And, I think that's just the reality of it.
Matt Hamilton, I don't know if you caught that, but somebody's saying it's the same stuff every week when he wants to see what needs to be corrected with his team.
Right.
Think you don't know what that is?
No. I mean, first of all, the voice was soft, but there was no distinctive feature in the voice that gave it away from what I did here, so I have no idea.
This is somebody who I would bet you've actually never heard them speak. You've probably never heard their voice, but you would really respect their words. That was Packers safety Xavier McKinney.
Okay.
So I will say I submitted that clip today. Spoil that one for you. Sorry, Matt.
No,
but,
that's all good.
Ryan Wood from USA Today was also the one who collected the audio from the locker room after the Packers lost to the Bears.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Xavier McKinney, along with some of the other team leaders, I think Tucker Kraft was involved.
Right.
Pretty vocally saying that the team just needs to be far better than they are right now. And the part that sticks out to me is that same stuff every week.
See, that is what intrigues me. I'd like to know what he thinks the same stuff is. Like, what are the issues that him as a player seeing? Because, us as fans, we look at things and we're like, oh, it's this, it's that. It's like, when you're a player and you know the scheme you're trying to run, you have a better idea of what is being missed or what you could do better. And I would be curious to see if he elaborated on what he's seeing week after week.
I know from the video he did not elaborate on what it was that he felt like needed to be corrected, but, I mean, hey, he said just about everything.
I mean, he can't give it away because if someone in Philly's watching, then you can, So
he's a smart player.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Well, it's going from players to coaches, Matt Hamilton. The NFL coaching carousel spinning.
Yeah.
Spinning. So let's see if you know who this is, also who submitted this clip, and see if not yet. You don't have to guess Jim yet. He's pointing to him on the ESPN Madison.
I wasn't raising my hand. I was just.
I just assumed it was coach's carousel. Like, you are so ready for your coaching situation to be figured out. I figured it was just you.
I'm not optimistic after today. My hopium is completely gone.
Oh boy! All right. Well, Matt Hamilton, there's somebody who is still very hopeful about one certain coaching candidate for his team. Let's see if he can figure that out from this clip.
It feels like they just put a list together of every human that's available. Coach, how do you think it's going to pan out? What would you like to see?
Okay, so let's start with. So he is interviewing right now, or at least his interview was this morning. I have no idea how it has gone, and I will not ask him. There's a line, as you know, with friends, and it's interesting to me. I don't know how you do this because you have so many relationships with people that we cover, and I have none. I have made a point of trying to have none or next to none because it puts me in this impossible position. So I am hopelessly biased in hoping that he gets this job because he wants it so badly. And when you care about someone as much as I care about that guy after all these years we've been working together, I want to see him get it because he wants it so badly.
Matt Hamilton, who is that who's hopeful that one of his friends might get hired as a team's coach?
Well, that's Pat McAfee with Greeny, it sounded like.
There you go. Correct.
I know Greeny's a Jets fan, so maybe they're talking about the Jets head coach?
It would be
spot?
it is the Jets head coaching spot. And who do you think? What's the candidate? Who he's friends with? Who he works with?
Oh, he works with.
I had to cut that part up.
Oh, Rex Ryan?
Wow. That is when you know a meme has become ingrained in
I
culture.
would kill at like charades or things like that.
Oh, yeah? You should have just held your foot up on the table.
Right?
Oh, my God.
COVID toed it. I don't know.
Or password or whatever. You get this like,
yep.
I know what
Telephone.
would get Matt to know.
Oh, my gosh. Rex Ryan would get those guys turned into happy little foot soldiers.
Happy feet indeed, Matt Hamilton. And speaking of COVID toes, somebody had their COVID toe in their mouth when talking after one of their games this past weekend.
We all know what time it is, so give us a sense of your process. What will you do in the coming days and coming months before you decide what it is you want to do for your next path?
I'm going to get home and relax. I'm going to clear out my head and get healthy from the bumps and bruises from the season. And just, I got a lot of gratitude right now. I'm going to enjoy this tonight, but once I get back out west, I'm going to, take my time, and I'm not going to hold anybody up. I'm going to have conversations tomorrow with everybody here. Make a decision before it gets too late in the offseason.
Whatever you do, all the best.
I love you, Pam.
Love you back.
Thank you.
Pam Oliver and Aaron Rodgers.
There you go. I was gonna say the real question is what reporter was he talking to?
Yeah.
Pam Oliver, correct.
I'm not going to hold anybody up. It's like, I've seen that movie, Aaron.
Last 3 years in a row, he said the same thing.
Yeah. I know how this one ends. So, wow. And is that it?
Yes, and do you know who submitted that clip?
Molly.
That one was Jim Rutledge's,
That was Jim
actually.
Rutledge.
Molly Brown submitted the Greenie clip.
Really? Okay.
Matt, what linings are you going to miss when you miss us?
I mean, I'm going to miss you guys a lot, but I'm going to miss my Liney's even more. The Lakeside Cherry, pretty unbeatable. The Juicy Peach is fantastic. But right now, this is amber season, baby. It's cold outside. Like, I understand. We've passed the point of trying to grasp on to the last strings of summer. As good as a lot of those fruited beers from Wine and Kugels are, I'm onto the amber right now, and you can't go wrong. Liney's Original, always fantastic. So if you're looking for that German-inspired Wisconsin brew, Wine and Kugels is where you should turn, but you got to be 21 years or older.
Before we get to
enjoy.
Jason Wilde, is what is in the studio, if you leave it in the studio, is it fair game? Because I have something mailed to Jesse Nelson, ESPN Madison, and it says, "Attention, Jesse Nelson." It's left in the studio. I feel like I should be able to.
Well, maybe someone thought that about your carbless piece of paper, and you should think,
You know what?
when
That-
I
you know
do
what?
this,
Yeah, I am petty. So what is this, Matt Hamilton?
it's a Yule log.
Why? There's two of them.
Well, it's supposed to be like that, like Christmas.
Yule log looks like a ho-ho.
Well, yeah, but no, there's like a cake that you
Where are they?
dress up to be like a log for like a Christmas dessert. That's like a thing.
Why do you think
But
it's
they're
sent
like
to
a
Jesse
ho-ho.
Nelson? Do you think Jesse took a bite thinking it was food? Because it is fake. It's
I
squish,
think
squish,
since
squish.
Jesse has been on his diet, they wanted to just torture him a little bit with fake sweets.
They were testing him.
There you
Yeah.
go. Well, I'm going to put this in this box here, and I'm going to give this to Jesse Nelson. By give, I'm just going to throw it in the general direction of his desk.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if it lands, it lands.
Matt.
Jesse Nelson is my number one suspect for taking my carbless paper.
That's probably a good bet.
All right. Before we get Jason Wilde, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Signing a limited poll question. Were the expectations too high for Jordan Love this year, or did he underachieve? Right now, 60% of you say he underachieved. We'll ask that question of Jason Wilde next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
Following the news Monday that wide receiver Christian Watson tore his ACL in Sunday's loss to the Chicago Bears and his season is over, head coach Matt LaFleur addressed two open roster spots on the Packers roster, with Jair Alexander and Christian Watson's seasons each being over. LaFleur not ruling out the possibility that the Packers could sign a free agent or two.
Yeah, that's something that Goody and I talked about this morning. I think we're looking at everything right now.
With or without anybody new in the building, preparation continues. It's Wild Card Weekend. Packers at Eagles, 3:30 on Sunday. I'm Alex Stroh.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Pizza Hut's wings are the best thing to happen to pizza night since, well, pizza. Introducing Pizza Hut's new Big Boneless Wing Bundle. For only $15.99, enjoy 16 crispy boneless wings in 2 different flavors, 2 dipping sauces, and a double order of fries. The wings are sauced and tossed to perfection and available in 9 flavors like honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, and sweet chili. It's the perfect bundle for game days, girls' nights, family night, or any tailgate party. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
So I kind of just thought of this question on the spot. So it needs to be workshopped a little. I'm not going to lie.
That's the same as Matt.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
I wonder if Jason Wilde is going to say what's up to this question. Matt Hamilton, I'm Jim Rutledge.
Maybe.
Live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Lawyer shining behind the glass. Of course, we're presented by Coors Light. Jason, how are we doing today?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
We are wonderful.
You already lost it. You asked, the first question you asked him was, how are you doing today? He's not going to say, what's up with that?
I want to, sorry.
What's up with that?
Jason, I've seen a lot of chatter, and I think most Packer fans have the right thoughts on Jordan Love. And I wanted to ask this poll question, which I'm not surprised really with the results. And it was actually a throwback to a question we asked that was a little too inflammatory, and I've learned from it from my younger days. We asked about Sam Decker in like his sophomore year with Wisconsin. We asked if he was overrated or underachieving. And I feel like that was probably a bit leading. So this time we're asking the question, our Signing Unlimited poll question. Were the expectations, did Jordan Love have outsourced expectations from fans?
Or were they too high?
Were they too high, or is he underachieving this season? And that's kind of how we set it up. What's your answer to that? You don't have to answer in that binary way, but I wanted your thoughts on the general question.
Yeah, I don't think he made as big of a jump as he needed to, as much as he wanted to, or as much as we all expected him to. Like, look, he is certainly not to the degree that Aaron Rodgers has become a lightning rod, but I feel like he's one of those players that there are some very, very, very passionate people that take it very personally if you critique him. That you're a hater or you're a Rodgers apologist or whatever you may be if you are critical of him. And so Tausch teases me, that I don't criticize him as harshly as I might because I don't want to deal with the backlash. That's not it. I don't really care about those folks. If they want to be that way, they're entitled to it. But I am a believer in him. I like him. I like him as a player. I like him as a teammate. Like, I like the fact that he takes a lot of responsibility, which not all quarterbacks have always done. I like that about him. I like dealing with him as a reporter. Like, I've got a very good, relationship with him. I like him. But one of the things that I like about him is how he takes ownership. And I think if we, this isn't a question that I necessarily want to ask him, tomorrow going into a playoff game, but I think it's the kind of question you want to ask after the season. And that is, how do you view year 2 as a starter? Did you make as much of a jump as you expected yourself to make? Did you get significantly better as a player or just somewhat better as a player? And I think Jordan is honest enough to say, I thought I was going to be better. And yeah, I had some injury issues and those affected some of the games, but I'm better than the quarterback that I was this year, and I'm going to be motivated to be that guy in 2025. And so, look, I understand that they can win on Sunday. They can. I don't think they're going to, but they can. They could go on a crazy 3-game run like the 2010 team did, but I don't feel. I know Rob Domofsky did a great piece on ESPN.com and ESPNWisconsin.com about the 2010 team, but I know he had started working on that before they lost back-to-back games to the Vikings and the Bears. And they don't feel like the 2010 team to me. Like the 2010 team, they went to New England and almost won without Rodgers, and then they kicked the crap out of the Giants, and then they beat, in a tough game, they beat the Bears at home, and they just felt like the team that you wanted no part of that year. And this team, they don't feel like that team. They're not that scary the way they're playing. LaFleur keeps using the word sloppy. So my point is that, I think Jordan Love would be honest enough to say, look, I don't think I played bad, but I certainly didn't play as well as I wanted to. I didn't take the steps I wanted to, and I'm supremely motivated to do all that next season.
So, Jason,
do you agree with that? Wait a minute.
Okay.
Hambone.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Well,
what do you think?
I mean, I don't know.
Your view is different.
I don't know what Jordan would say.
How do you view him, though? Is what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to say what he'd say. I'm asking you, do you view him the way I do, or are you more disappointed? Because I'll be honest. I said this to Tausch today. Like, I think that there was a lot of, I don't want to say pressure, but there were a lot of people who wanted to crown him. I mean, there were plenty of people, some in my business, who wanted to be able to brag that they called it. He's great. And he's just, he has not been, like, we were talking about him as a MVP candidate going into the season. I feel fairly confident he won't be getting any votes, right?
Yeah.
So he just didn't make that jump. And so I think there's somewhere between, he's a bum, or he's disappointing, or he underachieved, and him being what he's capable of being is kind of where he landed, for me.
Yeah, honestly, my expectation changed when the Packers made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I thought he went on a bit of a heater at the end of last season. I thought this guy is pretty darn good, but again, we've only seen him start, 2 games prior to last season, and then the 17 games, and then the playoffs last year. And even last year, 9 of them were really good, and the rest weren't that great. And I was like, I was hesitant to put an expectation on him. But when the Packers decided to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, I thought if the Packers can make that sort of leap of faith with this kid, there must be more that I'm not seeing. And I mean, I know that's kind of how the quarterback position is going right now. And at least we're not the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, who is a true middle of the pack, maybe bottom of the pack quarterback.
At least there's excuses for him, though.
Right.
I mean, if you wanted to spin it.
Right. But that's kind of like where my head was at. Like, I wanted to give him a chance and almost another year to continue to learn to be a starter. Like, sure, you can be in a system for your first 3 or 4 years as a rookie and moving forward. But once you become a starter, it's different. You're playing game speed reps. It's not practice anymore. And I don't really care what anyone says about it. Like, 16 games plus 2 playoff games is not enough, or 17, excuse me, is not enough to fully get a grasp on what a quarterback is capable of. So I wanted to give him more leeway, but when the Packers gave him that contract, I raised my expectations, because that's what that type of money to me infers, is you're going to be great, borderline elite, because we are giving you more money than Patrick Mahomes. And that was my feeling on it. So I think,
I don't know how look, contracts do that, right? There's no avoiding it. And so when he gets paid that way, the expectations are there. But I don't know if it's the contract. I think there's a number of things that factor into where my expectations were. And also I think that factor into whether or not he lived up to them, right? Like, I think as a second-year starter, you start to feel it a little bit, and you want to try different things. I wrote a piece earlier in the year about how he was, kind of like Bob Ross, and I did some great graphics to go with it. But basically, going from paint by numbers to I'm going to be my own artist, and I'm going to try different things. There was that throw into triple coverage down the field when they beat the Rams. So that's part of it. It's Matt LaFleur going from an offense that had a first-year starting quarterback, but also a bunch of young guys that he had no clue what they were capable of, now trying to take the offense, steps further and do more things, and him maybe having some inconsistency with that. There were certainly the injuries that factored into it. But, at the same time, he has not been especially accurate. And there were certainly questions about his accuracy coming out of Utah State, and to what degree is his accuracy improved? I don't know. There's also the issue that Matt LaFleur's offense, at least in my opinion, one of the great things about it was how effectively, and we saw this a lot of last year, it schemed guys open. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen a lot of guys running around wide open lately. Have you?
No.
So there's a lot of pieces to this, and again, I'm not what I say I'm disappointed with him. I mean, I think a little bit, and I think that's okay to feel that way, because because of how he played last year, because of his contract, because you see the wow throws now more frequently. I think it's okay to have higher expectations for him. I do, and I think they're valid. And he didn't reach them this season, but guess what? He can go out there on Sunday against Philly, which doesn't give up big plays defensively, playing great defensively right now. He can change this narrative like that by having one of those exquisite games like he had against the Cowboys in the first playoff game last year. And suddenly now we're not talking about his mediocre regular season. We're talking about, boy, did he rise to the occasion in the postseason. That's
incredibly true, Jason Wilde. You touched on something that has been the biggest sticking point for me, as far as I feel like holding Jordan Love back. I think last year he was just above league average in completion percentage. This year I believe he's below it. And that is far from being a great quarterback. And it's not like Jordan Love is incapable of making some great on-point throws, but he, at times, and I watched a lot of rookie QB this year, looks almost like reverted back to rookies, holding the ball, not taking a check down, and then trying to make a hero throw. So that hurts his accuracy. It regressed this year. But also, it seems like even in the simple throws, even that game, I mean, there was one he threw to Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft had to make an amazing catch. It was a wide-open throw. So what does he attribute, or what does the coaching staff attribute to an offense that if you looked at like Darnold and Goff and Purdy, those quarterbacks are high completion percentage guys because his offense lends itself to it, and Jordan Love is below league average in completion percentage. What is the holdup according to Love and the coaching staff on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's another one of those questions that, is kind of the post-mortem time question, right? But I would say this. I think one of the things, and look, part of that is the injuries.
Yeah.
Not only it changing his mechanics when he was trying to play after the injuries, but I would also argue vehemently, because I believe in the value of practice, and so does Matt LaFleur, that he was hardly practicing. Right? I mean, he wasn't taking a lot of reps. So I think when you don't practice enough, you lose your fundamentals. You lose all those things, those techniques and those details. They're not very good. And then I would also add this, and I don't know if you can liken this to, say, a basketball shooter who experiences his first real success. But I think you start to, as a basketball player, and certainly my shooting skills, even though I can't defend a folding chair, I feel like I could shoot it pretty well. But you get and you guys could tell me this is crazy, but you get a little overconfident in your ability to shoot, and suddenly, you're taking these off balance or fall aways, right? And you're not going straight up. You're not snapping your wrist the way you follow it. You're not keeping your elbow, and you're not worrying. You're not thinking about all the details that make you a good shooter. Suddenly now you're feeling so good about your shooting ability that maybe you're leaving those details behind. And I think that if you watch some of his throws this season, there are times where he's throwing off his back foot, or he's on the run, and if he has a chance to set his feet, he chooses not to. Like, I think there's instances of that where you think, maybe this is a young guy who's going through the process of maturation, who's thinking, all right, I'm pretty good. I can make this throw. I don't have to set my feet. I don't have to flip my hips. I can just do it. And there are times when he does make remarkable throws that way, just like a hot shooter hits a fall-away three-pointer and he lands in the front row of the seats. That doesn't mean that you should be shooting that way all the time. And so I think all those things are pieces of it. But, again, count me as a Jordan Love believer and someone who thought that we were crowning him too early. And now we're starting to see that this is a process for any quarterback, including him.
Yeah, Jason, that's fantastic stuff there. I guess I don't want to ask for a prediction, but we did ask this other question I wanted to get your thoughts on. And we asked yesterday, what was the biggest regular season issue for the Packers heading into the playoffs? And we'll leave Jordan Love off of it. It was slow starts, defense late in games, or just a general coaching, which could fall under slow starts, but the penalties, some sloppiness from the team.
Also defense late in games, but
yeah, that kind of falls under it too. But, I mean, on that, to me, the defense at the end of games, because I can think of the Detroit game this year, the Chicago game this year, twice, when the team needed to move the ball, the opposing team on the defense, they were able to.
Right.
And also slow starts. How old is that Warren P comment from Matt LaFleur? Because that seems to be a theme in this point. They have slow starts this year, the year before, all of LaFleur's tenure. So, what is the biggest thing that you think is kind of hurt them in the big games this year, whether out of those or something else?
Yeah, look, I think it's all those things, first of all.
Yeah.
But I think there's another piece of that, and I am going to put some of it on Matt LaFleur because, it wasn't you guys I was talking about this with. I can't remember who it was, but God bless the Bears. I saw some interesting comments from the press conference today.
My hopium is already. I microdosed hope when the Bears won. My hopium's already worn off. They've already ruined all highs from that victory.
Saw some interesting reviews of Kevin Warren, but I would say this. Look, whatever Caleb Williams is going to become, he's not that now. And so why the hell are you taking the ball to start the game? Just because you're trying to set a tone or that's your mentality. I didn't understand that from LaFleur at all on Sunday. Kick the ball, get them 3 and out, and then you get the ball, and you get the ball to start the second half. Like, that was just that to me, it was a no-brainer. And when they took the ball, I was like, what are you doing? And so I think there was, I don't want to call it hubris, but I do think that there was maybe an overconfidence that maybe permeated everybody, right? Like the coach, the offense. You know, we kept talking about how star-spangled awesome all these wide receivers are. Like, Jaden Reed ended up leading the team with 55 receptions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were not all that, like, on balance, their offense looks really good, right? They're, what, 8th in scoring or 7th in scoring, 8th in total offense. But you owe the lion's share of that to Josh Jacobs. And so I'm really eager to see if the Eagles come in and say, we are not letting Josh Jacobs beat us. If the Packers passing game can do something about that. To me, that's what this game will come down to.
Jason, really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right, that is Jason Wilde. He's Matt Hamilton. Primetime Lower Down Behind the Glass. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. An emerging star. Badger men's basketball collecting the road win at Rutgers Monday night. John Blackwell leading the charge with 21 points. ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust giving Blackwell big-time praise. The former guard's comments on the Jump Around digital show.
The guy is John Blackwell on this team. He can score mid-range, tough threes, get to the rim. He's aggressive. He'll get offensive rebounds. He'll get to the foul line. They have a different style that if you're looking to be excited, you just have to open your eyes and accept that they're doing something different.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortrea clinicaltrials.com.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare, with on-site repair. so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by the college football postseason on ESPN Radio. Don't miss the college football playoff semifinals this Thursday and Friday night right here on 100.5 ESPN and streaming free on the ESPN app. And speaking of playoffs, the Green Bay Packers heading into their first round matchup of the playoffs against the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Packers still currently 5.5-point underdogs per ESPN bet. No surprise, as the 11-6 Packers are stumbling into the playoffs after the 24-22 loss to the Bears on Sunday, and after it was confirmed that Christian Watson is out for the season with a torn ACL that he suffered early in that game. Quarterback Jordan Love still expected to play after his right elbow injury that was revealed as ulnar nerve injury. And then Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts likely to play as he's still in concussion protocol, but the Eagles also released third-string quarterback Ian Book earlier today. Likely means that Hurts will be back in time for that playoff matchup. Then switching over to basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks routed the Raptors last night in Toronto 128-104 and will host the Spurs at Fiserv Forum tomorrow night. And the Badgers basketball getting another big win, 75-63 at Rutgers last night. Badgers are 12-3 on the season.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
And then Contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, Mr. Mr.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly's out with babies. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
You can get into the show with our Siding Unlimited poll question, which is, were the expectations too high for Jordan Love? Or did he underachieve this season? Right now, 59% of you say he underachieved. You can chime in on that on the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more, 844-770-3776. Looks like we had someone text in. They didn't put their name on it. But 608 chimes in. More responding to Jason Wilde about will they sell out, Philadelphia sell out, stop Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs won't allow the Eagles to not allow him to run the ball. So how about that? Well, that got me looking, Matt Hamilton. In that game, he ran for 84 yards. So,
right, but that was game one.
Okay.
It's totally different. It's different. And the turf, the field.
Against Minnesota, he ran for 51 yards. Against the Rams, a playoff team, he ran for 73 yards. Against Detroit, his best game in a loss, 24-14.
Can you mention how many carries he had in these games?
95. Well, let's see here. 16 carries for the Eagles.
And that's how many yards?
84.
Okay, so that's about 5 yards per clip.
I can give you the 5. If you want the yards per carry, you can just ask for that.
Well, yeah, and the yards per carry is very illustrative.
5.3. Yes, but clearly you move away from giving him the ball. 5.7 against Minnesota, lost 3.8 against the Rams. 3.4 against Arizona. 6.3 against Houston. Let's go back to these playoff teams. So 7.3 against Detroit, and then the next playoff team, 3.7 against Detroit with 66 yards. And then against a almost playoff team in Seattle, 3.6 with 94 yards. Against a playoff team in Minnesota, 4.1. So realistically, acceptable yards per carry, Philadelphia and Minnesota, and then one Detroit game.
The big problem, though, is it's going to depend on the defense keeping it close. Because if Philly scores, even if Josh Jacobs is chunking along at a 4.5, 5 yards per carry, we're going to have to end up passing the ball because you can't just blow time when you're losing.
Right, because that's the thing with Josh Jacobs. And he's the third best running back signing of free agency.
Yes.
But it's a high bar.
Very high.
Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I think we looked earlier, probably the sixth best back in the league this year. So you'd put Henry and Barkley and Gibbs in front of him. And I think Williams from Denver. So then I think right around there is where we'd have Jacobs. There's a lot of different factors into how you want to break that out.
I think yards per carry is like the safe one.
Yards per carry, he's trash. 4.4 is not good. That is not, that's, the best running backs have a higher yards per carry. So I wouldn't go, he does not do well. We've had this discussion the year started. 4-point-something yards per carry is not wonderful.
I mean, that's a first down every.
Yeah, but that's not.
You run it every play.
Yeah, that's not. The best running backs are not that point.
I thought, okay. That's fair.
He's a very good running back, and yards per carry, I think, are misleading for him because I think that they do him a disservice. Because I think he's
yards
a better
per
running.
attempt, he is. Let's see. He is.
Looking at
some in the league.
Looking at some of the other teams in his sort of top tier of rushing yards, he ranked 6th in rushing yards this season at 1,329.
Yep.
If you look at the guys ahead of him, Saquon had 5.8, Derrick Henry had 5.9 yards per attempt. Bijan Robinson is another name to throw out there. 4.8 yards per attempt. Jonathan Taylor was at 4.7. Jahmyr Gibbs 5.6, and then Josh Jacobs 4.4.
Yep. His touchdowns are in his 15 touchdowns. Touchdowns are in his favor. He is a very good running back, and he has the ability to catch out of the backfield. But my point is Josh Jacobs, and we talked about this actually during the break. He would be very well served, and this was the plan for the team. And Emmanuel Wilson isn't necessarily that guy. He's a nice player, but to have a true counter and complement to him would be extremely helpful for the Green Bay Packers. He's supposed to be. He's better than Thunder, but he's supposed to be the Thunder and then a lightning sort of back that would be with him to be the explosive player. Because Jacobs, for the year, has not seemed like an incredibly explosive player. His longest run on a year was 38 yards.
And only 7 20-plus yarders.
He's supposed to be what the Lions had with Sonic and Knuckles, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. That is the perfect scenario. Because if you have him and, we'll just say the name, Aaron Jones, which is what we all thought it was going to be for 2 hours back in March. If that was the case...
They win some of those games that they didn't win the 0-5 against top-tier teams.
If that's the case, they definitely have 12 wins. Pretty good chance they might have 13. 12.5 wins I feel pretty good saying that.
Because again, if Jordan Love has the exact same season, you just have more explosive plays. Because that's the one thing. Jacobs is a very good running back, and he is a top tier NFL running back. And for his career, when he came in, Matt, we had this discussion of he's a 4.4 yards per carry guy, which is fine, but he's a volume carrier. He is a volume back, and it's not like he's incapable. It's like the discussion with Jordan Love. Jordan Love can be accurate, but on the whole, he is not an extremely accurate quarterback over the course of a season, over the course of a game. Josh Jacobs, on the whole, is not regularly explosive. And so they needed someone, and that was probably going to be Marshawn Lloyd before he got injured and then had appendicitis, and that kind of ended the season.
Yeah.
That was kind of the plan here. Now, weird thing, just so you know, the Packers are, and I don't know what running backs are out there. You are allowed to sign players throughout the season, so maybe there was someone else, but I guess they like Emmanuel Wilson. But he's still not necessarily the lightning to Jacobs. He's
Well, I mean, Marshawn Lloyd wasn't going to be either, right? He's kind of the same kind of back.
He's
Honestly,
a little more.
I don't know.
He's a little more lightning. It's more than Jacobs. Jacobs isn't super explosive, I think, like Jim said, but he can get out to top speed, but he's not breaking away 80-yard touchdowns very often. He's done it before. He did it against the Seahawks last year, I think. But yeah, I think that
2022 was his 86-yard run. That was his long.
Yes. So
otherwise, his longs are in the 30s.
And even that one, like that's kind of like a rumbling one where he blew through like 2 or 3 guys and then sort of broke away because nobody was fast enough. Like nobody else in the secondary was left. He ran them all over.
Yeah.
For his career, he's 4.3 yards per carry. Like that's just it's just who he is. He's but again, I don't want to sit here and he's very good.
Yeah.
Most teams would love him, but he is not. And this is the problem where Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, if you look at some of their, why can the Eagles be an explosive offense and still have Saquon? He's almost at 6 yards per carry. And Derrick Henry is right there as well, 5.8 and 5.9.
Yeah.
And that's why those guys, you're like, you can have the big explosive plays with those players. The long for Saquon Barkley, 72. The long for Derrick Henry, which is shocking, 87.
I mean, Derrick Henry is way faster than you'd assume with his build. He looks like a guy who'd be Thunder, but he is the Thunder Lightning combo in one. He is, like, I think when he came out, he had like a 4.40 in the combine, and I mean, even as a guy who's like 30 years old, I think he just had his birthday the other day. He was fast.
What are you laughing at?
I couldn't think of the word combine.
No, the Cardinals talking text line just makes me giggle sometimes.
Do you want to read the Cardinals talking text line?
Okay, both of you started laughing, and I was like, did I say something to make me sound like an idiot again?
No, I did this to Jim earlier today, actually, too. I gaslit him into thinking something was wrong because I was laughing. No, this is a texter we have just in a St. Louis. I don't know.
They haven't given us a name, so I think that's a St. Louis zip code, so I just put that in.
Okay.
That's why I labeled him St. Louis.
He said, Jimbo, when you run 25-plus times a game, 4.4 yards per carry is amazing. Gibbs/Bijan can keep it so high because they're outside zone speedsters that touch the ball much less. So I guess we're kind of saying the same thing, but 4.4 is certainly good. And then he followed up with another text. He said, by the way, your takes always make me feel a relentless urge to text and drive, so if I crash, expect a call.
I'm sorry.
You can tell
yeah, that's fair.
Put him on the insurance claim. It was Jim Rutledge's fault.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry, he's a between tackles guy, right?
He gets out to the edge. I mean, he's everything. He's between the tackles. He's outside the tackles. It's Derrick Henry.
Right. But, like, we all can agree. And, again, Josh Jacobs is very good. He's just not Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley good. Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. But Gibbs right now, the last 2 games, has had to be all of it. Or
it'd be interesting to see if he can carry that throughout the playoffs.
True.
If Montgomery does not come
back.
But
let's just look at Jahmyr Gibbs the last couple of games here. Jahmyr, sorry. Against, do we know when Montgomery went down?
I want to say that's like 3-4 weeks ago.
So let's just go at Chicago. I think that was the first game without Montgomery. 23 carries, 109 yards, 4.7 yards per carry. At San Francisco, 18 carries, 117 yards, 6.5 yards per carry. And then versus Minnesota, 23 carries, 139 yards, 6 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is a really good running back.
Also, in the month of December, Josh Jacobs has hit 25 carries one time, and it was 26, and he averaged 3.6 yards per carry in that game. Otherwise, 6, 17, 13, 26, and 18. He averaged 7.3 against the Bears, which then helps his average, but 4.1 with 17 carries against Minnesota, 5.3 on 13 carries against New Orleans. I forgot about that game. And then Seattle, 26 carries, 94, 3.6. So those 25 carries didn't hit.
He had 26 carries in that game?
Mm-hmm. 3.6 yards per carry, if you're wondering.
And that's valuable, though. I will say there is something to be said for a guy who just carries the ball this much.
And that is his value. If he fumbled less, he'd be incredibly...
Now, can I ask one question related to this?
Yes.
We talked about it yesterday with the passing game not being good enough because they can't get open against man coverage. Say if the Packers' passing game was more effective and efficient down to down, and it was spreading out defenses more, how different do we think his numbers could be? Because I'll be honest, I feel like it's usually blocked well up front by the Packers, but very few times has Josh Jacobs had just like clear lanes to break through and just run away untouched to the second level. I don't know if that, and he's fast enough. Like, he should be able to do that. But I feel like there's never just a clean, easy breakaway lane for him.
I get what you're saying, but again, for his career, 4.3, his absolute best was 4.9 in 2022.
But that was also when he was with the Raiders, who had awful run blocking.
Right,
So
but now we're talking to the carry side of things. 1,600 carries. We talked about this. He already had more carries than in a short amount of time than Aaron Jones. There can be. He just might not be fully as explosive as he used to be.
He feels explosive to me.
He's still explosive.
When he plays.
I said as he used to be. That's a lot of carries on a body.
True, but even then, like you said, like he wasn't ever averaging that many. Like his 4.3 yards over his course of his career with the Raiders. Like honestly, when you're with the Packers, and I'm assuming much better offensive line play compared to what he had with the Raiders, I feel like it should be like 4.6.
But he didn't have any passing help in Vegas, right?
But that's my point, is that he's just running into a wall every time, and he's carrying. I'm saying the yards per attempt. Like,
yes,
if the yards per attempt should have been higher given what the Packers passing game and offensive line.
Right, and I that's fair. And again, what I am saying is he's the 5th best running back in the NFL.
Yeah,
so like I'm not getting on him, but there is still a line of demarcation, just like we talk about with quarterbacks: Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then you could talk about Josh Jacobs as 4th. That's fine. But
which is why you feel like he probably can't carry you through the playoffs, which is what the Packers need.
Right, because Jordan Love isn't doing it. Or has it in the regular season. I'm not saying any of these guys are incapable, but also it goes back to being the 7 seed, 3 road games, and then relying on an inconsistent Jordan Love. It means he is capable of having a great game, maybe even 2, but then a Josh Jacobs, who, oh, by the way, has had a hell of a lot of carries, and now he's got to play 3 games in a row on the road being wore out.
Yeah.
So all this being said, I still think the Packers, I would give them like a 40% chance of beating Philadelphia. As long as, if Jalen Hurts is healthy, it's 40%. If he's not healthy, maybe it's 50-50.
Yeah.
So I just want to, like, we're talking about good teams here. We're talking about playoffs now. So we are lifting the bar. Your peers are no longer the Bears or the Cardinals or any of those teams. Your peers are the best teams in the league. And the best teams in the league, you're facing the best running back in the league and the best running back season in Saquon Barkley that we've seen in a decade.
Well, Derrick Henry in 22 ran for 2,000 yards, so it doesn't really matter. I know what you're saying. Saquon Barkley had a great season.
An elite season.
Yeah, but, there's another running back that literally 3 years ago, ran for 2,000 yards as well. And even this year, Derrick Henry put up 1,900.
It's still not Saquon Barkley this year. I don't know what your deal is against Saquon Barkley. I know you just love Derrick Henry.
Honestly, I have nothing against Saquon Barkley, but when you say it's the best running back performance in a decade, I gotta correct you, because it's not.
It's better than what Derrick Henry did
this year.
Right, so I'm saying I guess
that's what I'm saying. It's 2022. He had a better season than this.
No, I'm saying that Saquon Barkley had a better season this year too. He also sat a year. He hit 2,000 yards in a short window. We can hit it on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again, quickly and affordably. Madison Computer Works has been doing that for business and residential customers for decades. Our computer care plans take away the hassle of being without your computer or needing to bring it in for repair. Starting at only $10 a month, our local and friendly techs provide remote help and can fix most problems in just minutes. Call 608-231-8000 and sign up today. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu. Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites from pizza, pasta, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and so much more. All for $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With this lucky deal, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Outside in. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
How good would it feel to start the new year by losing those unwanted pounds? At Madison Weight Loss, our metabolic reset program can help you finally lose those pounds without all the stress and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own. The secret is our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation and learn why your metabolism may be sabotaging your goals.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. If you're looking to find success achieving a new weight loss goal in 2025, do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. A new you in this new year.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration without packaged food or injections. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days and have the tools to keep it off long term. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
The team at Canopy Wealth Management take the time to truly get to know and understand the dynamics of your values, goals, and plans for your financial future. Their local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry to the table for the benefit of their clients. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline. It's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. And you can get into the show on the Carb List Talk and Text line. List is more, 844-770-3776. We did post a new Siding Unlimited poll question, primetime. And what question is that? It went wrong. I like it, though. It was a good initiative.
Well, because we were getting a lot of conversation about it on the Carb List Talk and Text line, I went ahead and posted just the question of, is Josh Jacobs good enough to carry the Packers on a playoff run?
I love that question. A little cleaning up the Talk and Text line. We're now going to switch Adam. He'll no longer be Adam and Madison. It was St. Louis. He said keep it as St. Louis, but I at least want to make sure I have a little bit of personalization to it, so it's going to be St. Louis Adam. We got that now lined up there. 911
Adam, stop texting and driving.
919. Yeah.
There were some suggestions on the Carb List Talk and Text line that talk to text is an option.
Yeah.
That you can use if you're driving in the car.
That? You can also call in, bro.
That too.
Yeah, the phone lines are open. 919 chimes in. First-time listener, is love underachieving? So first-time listener, please go ahead and give your info. Is love underachieving? Sure, but I also think the bar he set in the playoffs last year was a product of the pass-first offense and him being on a heater. I think if we stick with the heavy run play action, you're going to see Love behind mid next few seasons, be mid the next few seasons. Doesn't help that we have a hospital infirmary at wide receiver, no clear-cut number one. He says, give him T. Higgins and Reed step up, and he'll be just fine. And yes, thanks, caller, our new caller chiming in. That's the earlier conversation, is that I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback. And I think the underachieving part of it is the expectations we put on him because of the G. He could be And what's the conversation on Brock Purdy? Oh, he needs great players. Jared Goff, Sam Darnold. Okay, maybe Jordan Love just needs good players around him, and then you can go to a Super Bowl. Maybe you end up losing to Mahomes or the elite Josh Allens or Joe Burrows of the world in that Super Bowl. But right now, there's no elite quarterback in the NFC, and so good can still get you to the playoffs, even if it's not this year. So yes, adding players and better pass catchers around Jordan Love can lift his floor. His floor is good player. I don't know what his ceiling is, but I do think that and it's Georgia, North Carolina. Thanks for calling in. We'll add you to our list here on the Carb List Talking text line. I do think more players will help Jordan Love, and that makes him a good quarterback.
Right.
Mahomes doesn't have a lot, and he's probably the one doing the most. Because Jordan Love, I think his offensive line, and again, I'm skewed the other way. I'm jealous of the Packers' offensive line. I think it makes the run game work, and I think it helps Jordan Love stay upright long enough to be able to make decisions and make throws. I think sometimes he hangs onto it a little too long looking for the home run when he should just take the single. So offensive line is all subjective because there's plenty of teams in the league that I think the Packers have a top upper half offensive line. I think that's fair. I'm not going to be an expert on it. Then you have TJ from the Road does chime in saying the offensive line for the Packers has been average this year. I think they're slightly above average, but maybe not quite as elite as they were. And he says that's why Jordan Love's been running for his life frequently, and Jacobs isn't getting to the second level. I don't know. I haven't seen the All-22s. I feel like LaFleur, throughout his time, has proven to be a play caller that builds out solutions for a quarterback to dump it off. Prime, I don't think you were here when we coined the phrase for Jordan Love of he's sneaky unathletic.
That was definitely when Mr. Relevant was still around.
No, it was when Riley was filling in over the break because every time you see a wide open field for Jordan Love, he's a young man. He's a big, strong quarterback. You expect him to be able to move a little bit.
They were giving him Ben Roethlisberger comps.
Yeah, but Big Ben would absorb some hits. That's the difference.
Yeah, Jordan's about 20 pounds lighter.
40.
Listed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're also conflating old Roethlisberger to prime Roethlisberger.
Fair. Okay, good point.
But
prime Roethlisberger was still a chonk.
He was, but he was hard to bring down. Jordan Love's not easy to bring.
Cheeseburger for most of his career.
He wasn't easy to bring down.
No, he was hard to bring down.
And Jordan Love isn't easy to bring down.
It's not easy, but he's not overly difficult, I would say.
The 25-pound difference there. We'll shoot the middle. Like that difference is probably the difference maker. But it's just one of those things where I've seen him. I've been at games and there's all this wide open space, and I'm like, well, he should just go get the first down. And he takes off, and he's going nowhere. Like it's just, I don't know if he has a high top end speed because you never see him get to it. But Jordan is not someone that is super athletic. You think he's big, 6'4", 200 some pounds. Like you think he'd be a little bit more difficult to bring down, or like once he got going, like Josh Allen's big. But Josh Allen's
a freak.
Yeah, but when he gets going, he's also like a locomotive. That's the other thing. He doesn't build up speed when he goes either. Like Jordan, you'd think at his size, you'd be like, oh, God, now I got to bring down this guy getting downhill. He doesn't. He always looks like he's running uphill as opposed to downhill.
He's more Matt Ryan than he is Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, okay. So it's just one of those things where I just wanted to point that out, that every time I see Jordan Love.
Of course you did. Don't we have a caller to get to?
Oh, yeah. Alex and Stoughton. Or Alec and Stoughton, sorry. Hey, Alec.
Good evening. The answer to the poll question is yes. And I don't think you guys are giving 4 yard per carry backs enough credit, whether it's Jacobs or Jones or Sanders. 4 yards is the standard because you put 4 yards together on 3 plays, you get a first down. If you're not a 3-down back, you still get 4 yards on 2 plays. You put your team in a 3rd and 2, which is, you can do a lot with a 3rd and 2. You guys got to look at some historical numbers, I think, because 4.3 yards is pretty damn good over the course of a career. You're not going to see 4.5, 475, 5 yards per carry over a career because that means that you have to average a 6-yard carry for every 4-yard carry that you have. And that just doesn't happen very much. So I think we got to be happy with what Josh Jacobs is bringing to our team, considering we had Jones for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, and he had some he had some fumbles, He had some missed games, and Jacobs has been there every game, toting the rock for a lot of yards when you take a look at it over the course of the season.
Yeah, and thank you for the call, Alec. I agree Josh Jacobs should get his flowers, and he's very good. He's league average. Just looked it up. League average yards per carry. According to Google, league average yards per carry, 4.3 in 2022, 4.4 in 2023. It's just one of the, he's at the league average.
The difference, I would say, is that if the league average running back was getting the number of carries he was getting, then their yards per carry would be lower.
Okay, Saquon Barkley, 345.
I agree. Look, I agree with you. He's not in the tier.
And that's the conversation we're having. He's not Saquon and Derrick Henry. He cannot carry your team to deep playoff runs. He is a very good Pro Bowl, probably all-pro running back. I would put him in the all-pro with Saquon Barkley. I'd imagine you 2 running backs, Saquon and Josh Jacobs. But there's levels to this, as Meek Mill says, and he is not on Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry's level. I really wouldn't put him on Jonathan Taylor's level, also a back who carries a lot of yards. Let's look at this real quick. 345 for Saquon Barkley, 5.8. And the reason why this is important to me, because I had this revelation a couple years ago. 1,000 yards means bupkis now. And honestly, 4.5 is the standard for I'm looking at you as a truly great running back. All right. Derrick Henry, 325. Bijan Robinson, 304. Jonathan Taylor, 303. Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy I'll give you as the complimentary guy. But Josh Jacobs, 301. That means he had less carries and less yards per carry than Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. And I don't think that's where he falls.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us would argue that he's better than those guys.
And I'm not arguing he's bad. I'm arguing that's where
and we're more so asking, can he carry them on a playoff run, which he could probably be a really good back and help power the offense with a complementary offense around him, but by himself, which, given the state of the Packers passing offense and especially Christian Watson being out, there's a good chance Josh Jacobs will have to go above and beyond. I also think
it's an expectations thing. You go about Jordan Love and you see the great quarterback play, and then you're like, well, he's just good. Most teams would take him. Josh Jacobs, you go from Aaron Jones, who can't carry the load for a whole season, and now you got a guy who shows up game in and game out and is carrying the ball 300-plus yards for 4.4 yards per carry. That looks like that's never been done before.
Well, it's different, too, that he gets those dirty yards, those short yards that Aaron Jones didn't always.
David Montgomery, he reminds me of. If you get a lightning, now this running game is truly terrifying for most teams in the league. Again, now you're the Lions.
Yeah.
So I do want to bring up something that a caller had mentioned earlier, a little bit kind of to do with running backs, but mostly to do with Jordan Love. We talk about running backs and a lot of guys kind of being rhythm backs, right? Like, they might not necessarily have that first quarter that is stellar, but as they keep getting the rock and the defense keeps having to bring down a tough back to bring down, wears them down, right? And then you get some of those breakout yards late in the game. Mm-hmm. One of our callers said that Jordan Love last year was a pass-first offense. We're kind of a run-first offense now. Is there any merit to thinking that Jordan Love isn't getting the opportunity to get in a rhythm the same way? And I know he wasn't great when he had 30-plus passes this year, but when that was kind of the anomaly, getting more than 30 passes, it's still like a season-long thing. He's not getting into the rhythm. He's not throwing 30 passes consistently week in and week out where you can find that. I'm more asking, Jim, do you think there's a rhythm to that? Like, do you think if Jacobs was more of the complementary player to Jordan Love as opposed to Jacobs kind of being the star of this offense and then Love being the complementary player to it, is there anything to that? Like, maybe Jordan Love might be better, maybe more accurate over time if he got to throw it all the time and we just took these interception lumps as they came and hoped that he figured it out because he's throwing it more?
Maybe. It's not dramatic. So 579 last year in pass attempts, 425 this year, but obviously he missed 2 games. So
yeah, but if you throw this year it probably would have been 25 passes a game. There's 2 games there, so 50 passes.
Well, we
less,
can do the
roughly.
We can do the difference there. Still, that's not anything like. We're acting like
that's
they're
75 different.
We're acting like they're running an offense at 85 Bears. They're throwing the ball plenty.
I mean, they are, but that's.
This goes back to the trust your coach. Your coach clearly says, "I don't like this." And also, Jordan Love.
Or the coach is like, "Hey, we spent all this money on this running back who's supposed to take pressure off our quarterback, and our quarterback
No,
That wasn't the way.
Matt LaFleur believes in running the football. He said that forever, and he's shown it this year. He believes in running the ball.
And yeah, last year we just didn't have a back that was capable of running the ball and being healthy the whole season.
Last year, statistically, for the course of the year, Jordan Love was the same guy. He's more consistent this year. That's the only difference.
That's what I'm asking. If he got to throw the ball more and had this similar consistency,
what makes you think he'd be as consistent? Maybe he's
I'm
consistent
just basing it
because
off of this season. He's more consistent. So if he had,
he's more consistent because they're running the ball.
I mean, that's possible.
We're arguing the negative.
I'm just asking if him getting more reps is going to help him.
There's not a reps problem, man. What do you mean by reps?
What do you mean? What do I mean by reps? Reps are always important. I don't care how old or experienced you are in the league. Reps are important.
Again, I don't want to get into the sleep argument again, but over the course of the year, we're talking did we figure out the difference in passes per game?
No.
Okay. Over the course of the year, we're
talking
100.
Not per game, but it was 100 less passes.
Well, he missed two games.
If you count,
it's going to be tough
50,
because he also missed half of a game too, so it's not going to come out clean.
And the Bear game, he missed half the game too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, no, I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I think that he is a guy that I think Matt LaFleur saw this offense and sees Jordan Love and says, "This is the offense." Because again, if you don't want to put it all on Jordan Love, maybe the receivers LaFleur doesn't trust enough. Because we have this conversation of the guys aren't getting open. So we have to use the run to set up the pass to
get these guys open.
Get the guys open.
Okay. I mean, I find that I
just don't believe this magical world that let's just throw it more and Jordan Love all of a sudden be elite.
Yeah, I know, but you look at the elite quarterbacks and they throw it a ton.
Because they're elite. I mean, this is a chicken or the egg thing.
Yeah.
Because Jordan Love, again, last year has never been a big statistical guy. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns once in his career, and I think he's got 5 300-yard games. When he throws it a lot, they're short. It's not massive amounts of big-time stats.
Okay.
Again, I think we all conflate to the huge numbers that Rodgers put up. Just eyeballing it, last year he had 2 300-yard games and no 4-touchdown games, only a handful of 3-touchdown games. He's not this volume shooter.
Right.
He is at his best when he can be efficient.
I did do some rough math when coming to the passing attempts per game. Last year, with the 579 passing attempts over 17 games, it comes out to just about 34 passing attempts per game. And I took his 425 divided by 14 for games played this year. He's played 15, but like you said, missed half the Bears game, missed half that Jags game. Comes out to 30.4. So it's about a 3 pass per game difference.
4.
Well, 3.5. Well, it's 30.4.
Oh, okay.
So 3.5.
Insignificant.
Okay. I'll give it to you.
It's less than 10%.
That's what I was asking.
I think the
I
wide
wasn't
receiver.
telling. I said I was asking.
And I was saying I disagree.
And we answered.
Yes. I think, honestly, the offense is right. They just don't have enough playmakers is the problem. And maybe Jordan Love just needs a playmaker at wide receiver. Yeah. And maybe Goody has to pull his head out of his butt and say, you know what, I don't have to draft everyone. I could just say someone else drafted someone good, and they're available, so I'll pay them. Maybe that would be the way to get it done. We're going to do some NFL predictions, but next we're going to throw stones.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodwin's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gavel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Yeah, it's over, I'm circling these boxes, got me praying and this hunger. I'm feeling something rotten, feeling kind of tilted, and I'm
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. And we are in the Everlight Solar Studio, presented by Coors Light. We're going to take a break from the carbless talk and text line, 844-770-3776. Less is more. We're also going to take a break from our 2 side and unlimited poll questions. But is Josh Jacobs good enough to carry the Packers through a playoff run? 62% of you say yes. And I think Josh Jacobs is very good, though. I'd like to be very clear on that.
I mean, as a Packer fan, I sure hope he is, because that seems to be the only way it's going to happen.
The main reason why I say is that running backs don't do that. So I would go with your guy, Derrick Henry, or my guy, Saquon Barkley. I like them both. But, those are the ones that could possibly do it. But
the last time a running back has carried a team to the Super Bowl?
You know where Derrick Henry's never played? The Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley,
he was
same
with
thing.
the Tennessee Titans.
Still.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, Giants, right?
Yeah, you're just not it's not something running backs do. Even though I think Josh Jacobs is a top 5 running back, you need them, but they're not the ones that carry you. All right, let's get to NFL playoff predictions. We were so bad at it in the regular season, we thought we'd get to it now.
Should be easier now. It's fewer teams.
So I'm gonna add one to here, Ryan. I want to add Super Bowl MVP too.
Oh, okay. Really going on.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So let me throw them out to you guys. So the first one we're going to predict, we want to predict the semifinals as well as the Super Bowl. So, guys, who's your prediction for who's playing in the NFC Championship game?
Who's first?
Matt Hamilton, you go first.
All right, I've got Lions-Eagles.
Lions-Eagles? Didn't you? Wait, what was your prediction preseason again?
I don't remember. Packers, probably?
Yeah. Packers Lions.
Probably
that's
Packers
what it was.
Lions.
Packers host Lions. That's what it was.
That's right.
See, the hard part is when they re-slot things. I don't know exactly the possibilities. So, Lions Eagles just feels the safest.
Well, the nice thing is that depending on how teams win, and there's going to be so many factors of how they reseed.
Yeah.
That theoretically any of them are possible.
But Lions Packers couldn't happen.
Lions-Packers
if the
could not
Packers
happen.
win, they
Correct.
have to play next week. So,
Correct.
you kind of have to pick someone. You'd have to either pick 2 teams in the bottom half or 2 teams in the top half of the playoffs.
Is it,
All right, smart.
Is it possible Lions-Vikings?
Yeah, because they're a 3 seed.
Yeah, it could be possible if in the right wild card seed. Well, the Commanders would have to beat the Buccaneers for that to be possible. Yes.
All right, no, I'm not doing that. All right, I'm going Lions-Eagles. Forget it.
Lions. Okay.
You
All
don't
right.
think the Commanders can beat the Buccaneers?
No.
Really?
Like Commanders seem a lot like the Vikings team a couple years ago, where they had a lot of weird wins.
Did you see that Buccaneers team struggling against the woeful Saints?
I understand, but still, Baker is now in his second straight playoff, and look, Baker. If his name wasn't Baker Mayfield, and the team in a different year, he might be an MVP candidate.
I think Baker Mayfield gets the right amount of respect now.
I think people will come around on him.
Okay.
I think he's got Lamar, Josh Allen, and Saquon ahead of him, and that's all it is.
Okay.
Saquon?
Saquon, I think, is the third option.
Yeah.
I think he'll finish third in MVP.
Oh,
voting.
as an MVP vote.
Yes,
Gotcha,
yes, yeah.
gotcha.
I'm not just throwing
I was
quarterbacks.
Like, quarterback sounds like, oh, weird.
Yeah, Saquon 1 for 1 this year with a
Saquon, is he
touchdown.
in that conversation? He threw a pass once.
Saquon, he can do it all. All right, guys. So then AFC Championship game predictions. What teams are playing it?
I'm just going to go, I believe this is chalk. I'm going to go Chiefs-Bills.
Yep.
Chiefs. Yeah, they're the 1 and 2 seeds. That should be very. But both of you guys, really?
Yeah, I mean, I had this written down. I wrote this in
because
like it was homework.
The new playoffs thing, it's like it's too many. I'm just going to go with the least amount of mitigating factors.
Neither of you believe in the Ravens?
Again, mitigating factors.
It's more of the fact that there's no way the Bills-Chiefs can play it in the divisional round.
That is true.
So that's kind of why I'm feeling that way. And
All right, what's your prediction for the Super Bowl matchup then?
I got Lions-Bills.
Matt's got Lions-Bills. Okay.
I got Lions-Chiefs. I'm going to go with the 2 best tems throughout the year.
Well, I mean, do we really need to ask Jim Rutledge?
Who's winning?
Chiefs win.
Come on.
Is that your Super Bowl win, Chiefs?
I don't.
You're going to give it to the
Super Bowl
Lions?
winner?
Yeah, then pick your Super Bowl winner.
Because I know you
Can I
already
say-
wrote in Patrick Mahomes for Super Bowl MVP.
I have not.
Even in a loss, you would get it.
Yeah, you would.
I would say, one, if this is a Super Bowl, it's just like my dream Super Bowl because obviously the Chiefs win, and that's super cool because that's 3 in a row. It really elevates the Mahomes already to Brady level and honestly lifts Andy Reid to Belichick level. And the Chiefs are then the second best franchise of all time.
And then if the Lions win, it's a division rival beating.
No. They've never won a Super Bowl. That's just cool. Like, I don't have to be that much of a troll. Yeah.
And which is why, as a Packers fan, even I would want the Lions to win.
Yeah, it's like
I would
my
too.
troll is if the Chiefs win, then there's no question that the Chiefs are a better organization
Chiefs
than the
win.
Packers, and they're clearly
There's already pretty no question there, Jim.
Yeah, that's fair.
right. But then it's all null and void. But
Chiefs win.
the Lions win, it would just be cool.
I agree.
It just would be neat.
So now, what are you predicting, though?
I'm going to predict the Chiefs, though.
Okay.
Chiefs win.
They're 15.
Chiefs win, indeed.
They're
Chiefs
15-2 this year. They should be 16-1 if they play their starters. They were actively trying to lose the game
I mean,
against Denver.
I would argue that they should have lost a couple other games earlier.
Yeah, but when you've won 2 Super Bowls, you get the benefit of the doubt of being a winner as
Yeah.
opposed to a team
Matt?
you can buy.
I got the Bills winning. That Josh Allen train's going to be tough to stop. And Josh Allen also Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, that nice. I like that. Also, I think that the Bills winning would be all the same fun vibes of the Lions winning, but it's the AFC version, which I
Right.
would much prefer.
Yeah, I would love. I mean, a Bills Chiefs. A Bills
Well, I like
Lions
the
Super Bowl would be fun
NFC to
too.
win just because I'm sick of everyone saying that the AFC's better. And I know they are, but like, let's get an NFC win so we can at least be like, well, like except for that one time.
I'll
Like-
say this: the AFC is better with the top 3 teams, but I think that like depth of the NFC playoff field is much better than the AFC. The Broncos are not a real
True.
contender.
I guess
I
the
don't
wild
think
card,
the
'cause I don't
Steelers
think-
are a real contender. I don't think the Texans are a real contender.
I know it's all division winners.
2 of them are division winners.
Because like
the
the
Steelers
Packers
are. wild card.
Packers are definitely better than the Commanders, even
But
in the lower
wouldn't put
seed.
him
I'd
in-
agree.
I wouldn't put him in real Super Bowl contender category, and neither would I do the Washington.
Washington has no
and
chance.
probably even the Bucks.
What about the Rams?
Yes, just because they have the pedigree and the offensive firepower.
And then what about the Vikings?
yeah,
Lions?
yeah,
Eagles?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's 4, and then you think there's only 3 for the AFC?
3, and I even think the teams that we don't
Because
consider
like the Ravens for
Yes.
sure is a contender.
Ravens, Bills, Chiefs.
Who's the next best in the AFC?
Honestly, I don't even know. Like, it's Steelers, Texans, then it's Broncos,
and again, I think
and who's the 7th seed?
I don't even know.
I think the Bengals should have been. I mean, honestly, I wish you could kind of like put a team in like with like, hey, you know what? You
College football playoff.
Yeah, like
The committee.
Yeah, because
Why are we blanking on the last
Get rid of
AFC
the
team in the
Steelers.
playoffs?
Because they're not relevant. It doesn't even
Steelers,
matter.
Texans, and then you have Bills, Chiefs, and I'm missing a division winner probably there.
Ravens.
Isn't that
Pittsburgh. And then there's one more. There's 7. Who's the last?
Oh, the Chargers.
The Chargers. Okay.
Chargers are.
Do you think they're a Super Bowl contender?
I don't think they're contenders. I think they're a good team with a good quarterback and a great coach, but they're probably a next
To me,
tier
they're
kind
in
of
that
contender.
tier. To me, they're in the tier of the Commanders
And the Packers.
Yeah.
Like
that's
probably a year away from really being a contender.
And it's, the thing is, the only way they would get there is if they caught, and I don't think this break would work, is if someone knocked out Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a bad matchup for them, but I think the Chargers, anyone else, could give them a run for the money.
The Chiefs?
Yes.
Chiefs win.
Yes, absolutely.
You just want to play that sounder again.
Chiefs win.
I think I think they hung tight. Harbaugh's a hell of a coach. He's got a national title, a couple Super Bowl appearances.
I don't think he has the roster right now.
I agree, but
who's their best receiver?
Ladd McConkey.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It is McConkey.
Yeah.
The rookie.
McConkey.
Great
and Herbert
name.
is
Ladd is
Herbert is let me
underrated
finish this,
name.
elite efficient this year. He is not turning the ball over.
He's been pretty good, but I same thing. Like, who else is
They don't
carrying
have
that
enough. They
offense?
don't have enough. Yeah, they don't have enough. But could they be a spoiler for one team? Absolutely.
And Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge. Let me ask you the obvious question: who's your Super Bowl MVP?
Who's the best defensive player in the Chiefs?
Chris Jones.
So you think he would? That's why I thought of.
He
Do you
needed
think-
like
rushes the
3
passer?
sacks.
Yeah, I don't think he would get it.
Come on.
Here's the thing. No one's going to get it but a quarterback.
Yeah.
When was the last time a non-quarterback got it?
Edelman, I think.
All right, we'll go with Mahomes, but I honestly think if they win this, the reason why I believe in the Chiefs, their defense is really good. And they have a really good defensive coordinator, and their offense is just good enough.
But you know that in that game,
Yes.
Mahomes will throw for 2 touchdowns, probably rush for 1, and
Or
then
it'll be like a very key touchdown.
exactly.
It'll be
Yeah.
a. Yeah.
You know what's gonna
I'll still argue, even if Mahomes does win the MVP, that the refs got it.
Oh yeah, the refs. Yeah, they
Refs are
deserve
the
the real
MVP
MVP
for the Chiefs,
Of
Super
course,
Bowl.
the Zebras.
All right, what is yours?
I said Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to go with the quarterbacks on that.
Yeah, I just don't want to be super wrong again. It hurts too bad.
Yeah. By the way, my prediction for I won't do all the predictions, but Super Bowl winner, I do think the Lions are going to win.
Okay.
I really think they have
They
it.
look really
they
special.
proved
Dude.
that defense is good enough without some of those key players.
The way
missing.
they just manhandled
the
a
Vikings.
really good Vikings team. Like
Yeah, they took that doubt out of my mind that they were too decimated to.
the only thing that holds them back is if Jameer Gibbs gets injured at this point.
For sure.
Other than that, I think they can absorb it.
Well, it
Yep.
sounds like is it their first game or second game they're expecting?
Montgomery could come back. I think like more like divisional or championship.
Divisional is
game
what he
round.
said. That's
Yeah.
what Campbell said
That's what he
today was
said.
divisional. Yeah, but I mean,
And
if he
then-
comes back, it makes a difference.
It does.
what's his name? Hutchinson.
Hutchinson.
Is
Super Bowl.
telling everybody I could make it back to the Super Bowl.
I'm still skeptical about that.
I
whole
mean, but
thing.
if he played in that Super Bowl game, you would think that
What if
they
he-
have a real good shot at
if he
it.
plays 10 snaps, like that could be a thing where it's like he played. He's like, oh yeah, you're on the field for third downs and
So-
then 5 of them.
Here's the thing, and then I know we gotta get to break. What I like about the Lions, they played a meh game. I think this was Thanksgiving against the Bears. They won 23-20. They played a good game, but obviously they let the Packers hang in there. They won at 34-31. So obviously not a great game by their perspective. They played a good team. But then they lost to the Bills 48-42, so they were in that. And then they go and beat the snot out of the Bears 34-17, beat up the 49ers 40-34, and then kill the Vikings 31-9. So, like, when I look at a team responding to play that's not to their standards, the Lions have done it. And that, is, to me, would be why I view them as the prohibitive Super Bowl favorite to get there.
So-
And
Not to rain on your parade, because I'm not, but at one point the Bills were up 45-28, and they gave them, I don't want to say.
okay, Matt, that's not the point at all.
Yeah,
the
the
point
point
was they
is-
got their ass kicked and they bounced back and won 3 games. Green
Okay.
Bay has lost to Minnesota and then lost to Chicago. The whole point of it was that the Lions, after losing to Buffalo, had 3 good games in a row.
Okay.
Yes, I don't care
but
about
you
the
said
Buffalo.
it was a close one. It was close on paper, but it wasn't as
Oh,
close
right.
as it was.
So the Packers didn't play a single close game this year.
I
This is
agree
Jim Matt Molly
with that.
by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
70,000 people are here, and Bob Dylan is the reason for it.
Inspired by the true story.
For anyone who's going to hold your attention on stage, you have to kind of be a freak.
Are you a freak?
Hope so.
And starring Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. He defied everyone.
Turn it down! Play loud!
To change everything.
Make some noise, BD.
Timothy Chalamet, Edward Norton, Elle Fanning, Monica Barbaro, a complete unknown. Now playing only in theaters. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is, I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, will feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
At Gruber Law Offices, our biggest priority is the care and service we provide to our clients. We know accidents can be overwhelming, and we're here to help every step of the way. Call now. One call, that's all.
It's a new era for Wisconsin football fans.
I want the offense to look like it knows what it's doing. It doesn't look like someone just picked up the controllers and was learning a playbook while they're trying to play the game.
Taking the conversation digital with the Jump Around 3.0.
Let's say they're averaging 200 rushing yards a game, then the passing game's just not clicking. We're going to feel good about it. Metaphorically in football, they're trying to learn to crawl before they can walk and then run again offensively.
The Jump Around with Jim Rutledge, streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
You got 2 minutes here for Throwing Stones. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Matt Hamilton, what's your stone?
So we talk about football teams playing to their strengths. So I like to think of my marriage as a team. And I was talking with my wife the other day, and I was telling her, you need to use me to my strengths. I need to play to my strengths. And my strengths are being told what to do. not expecting me to see what I need to do. So now I am starting this process of my wife writes a list of chores she would like done because she notices these issues. And I want to know, am I like a man baby for not noticing that the floors need to be swept or the trash needs to go out?
I'm with you. I have I didn't know the trash, like I didn't know your whole list.
I guess trash is a little different because we know it's every Tuesday. But
I have like a to-do list of like, hey, these projects I want you to work on, sort of things.
I need daily projects.
So no, I don't have
hourly tasks.
I don't have that. Yeah. I'm like a child. I have the dishes I have to do when they're done. I have to vacuum the upstairs and downstairs once a week, pick up all the dog crap, and then change the sheets.
Okay.
So that's my week. I have the week to get them done.
But you just know
now,
it. Okay.
When do you think I do those? Sunday around 3 o'clock.
Minute.
Yeah. Sunday
boy.
around 3 o'clock. Those are all done. We need to budget that time for it. All right.
Procrastination Jim.
I'll be back at it tomorrow. Matt Hamilton will be off curling. It's been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
See ya.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is